That's now that I'm doing the long hair thing again. The humidity is crazy. Hey everybody, happy Sunday. Um, I was going to do a special show tonight. I happened to be introduced over the internet to a wonderful woman named Rita Dunn. She's unhoused in Chatsworth, and she's running for the neighborhood council. And we tested the equipment. And, remember like 2 weeks ago how I interviewed Theo? Uh, we tested it, worked great from her tent. She had some camp friends around her. It was a great interview possibility. However, I figured you all want to talk about the virus. And since Rita is running for office, we're going to do it next Sunday. So next Sunday, make sure you tune in because we're going to have Rita live from her tent camp in Chatsworth, and she is running for office. So here tonight, I almost didn't live stream, and here is my reasons. Everybody's going to want to talk about the virus, and I understand that. It's top of mind. There's a debate going on. I was tempted to watch that. You got Biden and Bernie, and that is going to really shape what is, the election. So it was interesting to me, but I can watch reruns. It is going to be, on the air again. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. So I was talking about Rita, who may even be on. She might be on now. So I'm going to put in a link. And what reminded me is I see Derek's in the house, and Derek's running for mayor. And so Rita, I just put hopefully it fit. Oh, it's too long. What? You can only, no, that can't be it. Let's see if this works. So hold on a second, people. Yes, it works. Cool. Okay, good. Bam. So that is the link. Hopefully it works. To Rita, a local news channel, did a story about Rita running for office, which is amazing. So check it out. Tetched Feather. Thank you so much. Let me say hello to everybody. Passion, howdy. Midden, good evening, David. I am currently in Austin, Texas. Rumpelstiltskin, it is going good. Arkansas checking in. Hey, Jesse, why isn't public housing a human right guaranteed in the Constitution? That's a good question. If you want to bring it up later, maybe we can rant on that. I'm kind of disillusioned about it. I don't think everybody, so whenever I try, there's like two kinds of people, right? There's the people that have a heart for others, and then there's people that have a heart for money. And yes, there's people that have money and have a heart for people too. However, whenever I bring up this conversation about housing as a human right, the response I get is, well, if housing is a human right, then I want beachfront property. Really, the selfishness kicks in. Instead of, spreading the wealth, if you would, people are like, what about me? I want me. And housing has become a commodity. I'm open to why you also think it's that way. Hey, Valerie in Nashville. Derek, hello. Hey, Lynn from Australia. Hi, Tammy. Nicholas, hello. Oh, Scott, you do not love homelessness. Nobody loves homelessness. Hey, Sheila. Oh my gosh, Brad. I don't know where you are at this time of year. You do move around. I hope your shelter doesn't close. So I went to I'm in Austin, and I went to breakfast. A wonderful, not homeless woman named Penny hooked me up with it was 11 homeless women and one homeless man. I think the man might have been recently housed, but the women all lived in a shelter, 41 beds, bunk beds, all right up next to each other. The stories they were telling about the shelter are why people don't want to go to shelters. I mean, they're horrible. Hey, Scott Punk's in the house. We just started, Sheila, 6 minutes ago. We are brand new. Hey, Wade, thank you very much. So, for those of you that don't know, you know what? I'm going to put it in the chat too. With the third Invisible Stories, excuse me. I'm actually surprised I don't do that more. Okay, it's in the description, but it's also in the chat right now. We're doing mini documentaries. We're going to always do the first person interviews. We're going to continue doing the vlogs, what we've always been doing, but we've added more produced content. It's really to reach a different demographic of people. We did Theo's. Many of you have seen Theo's. Then we did Suitcase Joe, street photographer. And now we just launched K-Town. So click on that link, watch, share. It's very well done. It educates, inspires, shatters harmful beliefs. It's really good. Go check it out. Go check it out after the live stream. Go check it out now. I'm an old fat guy just waving my hands in the air. Hey, Curtis, how are you? Kesha, hello. Kesha, you're part of the reason I decided to do this tonight, because I know Kesha's going through a rough time, and I know how much she enjoys these chats. And I honestly went and made the decision thinking, oh my gosh, Kesha probably would like a live stream. So you played a big part in that. What did I do? Where'd I lose? I jump. Oh, I got to put the timestamp on. I wish that I could just leave that on there. That way, I thought I saw Walter in the house. Oh, you're in Berkeley? Did I see? Vicky's in the house. Man, we got the band back together, don't we? Okay, that's where I am. Hey, another person from, hey, Jordy, another person from down under, as they say, right? Scott Punk. Scott Keene, I do want to get to Maine. Portland, I know William, who often is in the chats here and is a supporter. I know he wants me to get to Portland. Hey, Curtis. I might have said hello earlier, so sorry if I'm repeating it. It's like, yeah, this is growing. So, Curtis, I'm going to just jump into the virus thing because if you go to the Invisible People Facebook page, now I'll tell you, I'm here in Austin. Um, might not have been the smartest decision I ever made, but it was my birthday, and I promised somebody that I would go see him, a formerly homeless person. That didn't happen, but the virus thing is a little more serious. I'm glad I came. I'm cutting the trip short. I'm going back tomorrow, mainly for my mom, because if I got stranded here, um, I'd be okay. I don't know how I would live, but I would be okay. It's being stranded away from my mom that's an issue. So if you go to the Invisible People Facebook page, I'll try to link it. Uh, I'll So here there's a very controversial homeless camp, really controversial. It's set up by the governor, who, from my understanding, is he supports criminalization. And I'm sorry, criminalization of homelessness is horrible. Anyway, you look at it, it's horrible. So the governor kind of forcing the mayor to pass laws, and then he built this sanctioned camp. And I went to the camp fully expecting to hate it. And I got to say right up front, because we're talking about the virus now, my lens right now is the virus. So I found it. I'm going to put a link. And so I'm looking at homelessness through the lens of homeless people and the virus. I'm just going to put photos from camp. Okay. It won't let me. Why won't it let me? Huh. Because I've seen there. Anyways, so I went there and I met. If you look at the thumbnail, that's one of the women I met, and I interviewed her. I might get the video up. There's room at this camp. And what I mean by there's room is tents aren't right next to each other. People can, some people, we have friends and we become this little sub community, have made their tents closer together, but you could spread out and not be close to people. So this woman is 62. She has cancer. She's had strokes, really horrible health. And she tells me, she says, I don't want to die of the virus. I'm not leaving my tent. If you look at homelessness, and you guys know this already, my lens is Los Angeles. And tents are right up against each other. There's no sanitation, there's no porta potties. So let me first say what this tent camp had was separation, so you could do the social distancing. Very important. There was multiple porta potty locations. There was banks of 10 porta potties and about 6 hand washing stations, 3 different places. That's huge. There was hand sanitizer inside each porta potty and at each hand washing station. Also huge. And then everybody that I talked to, and I don't know if they went and got this on their own, if it was stations around. Crazy important. Crazy. Oh, why? Oh my gosh, I have a bad connection. I shouldn't have a bad connection. So, anyways, they're making, they're putting these hand washing stations around areas where there's homeless people. Okay. People aren't gonna, just by the nature of homelessness. So I live in this tent, and people, I remember interviewing Derek, and Derek had one of the cleanest tents I've ever seen. I mean, it was a really nice tent setup, right? And Derek talked about the bugs and the dirt, and it's homelessness. It's not camping. So immediately when you wash your hands at a hand washing station, immediately you're going to walk away and you're still homeless and you're going to touch stuff. So I know hand washing is better than hand sanitizer, but we're all human. People aren't going to walk, and especially people with mental illness and addiction aren't going to walk blocks to use to wash their hands. If you have hand sanitizer, and I get it that it's sold out in most places. If you have hand sanitizer, you can, clean your zipper on your tent, clean the stuff you touch. You can have it at your tent. You don't have to walk. So I think a combination of both. The city of Los Angeles is putting out 100 hand washing units, and they should have done this 10 years ago, 5 years ago. They have thousands of them around. They don't. So anyways, the point is, when I looked at this tent camp with the room for social distancing, and hygiene and trash pickup, great. What was bad was really bad. The showers, go to type Invisible People TV into Facebook. It will come up. You'll see the photos. The showers are horrible. Oh my gosh. And there was no case management. For a state sanctioned homeless camp, there was no help for these people. There was nothing. And just about everybody had been on a housing list for 3 years, 5 years. This is crazy. Hey, Cochin, if you have a revolutionary way to drastically reverse homelessness, please scream real loud about it and send it to politicians and everybody. If it's short, like a couple paragraphs, I'll read it. If it's longer than a tweet, I have trouble reading. I actually have a learning disability that I have trouble reading long form. So if it's more than 2 paragraphs, I get all like, yeah. Walter says he's worried about the homeless being blamed, and I assume that the NIMBYs will be using it in some way. So what shelter are you staying in Berkeley? Oh my gosh, that was I got to catch up on the chat. So if you guys wanted to get my attention, I'm scrolling. Maria A, thank you so very much. I am now. Hey, Bliss. Hey, Gene. Now, there have been some pretty funny videos about washing hands. Gene. Yeah, I'm caught up with the chat now. If I miss somebody, I'm sorry. I get talking and you guys start talking. I know you're really here to talk to Addie and Charlie and Derek and Vicky. I know, I know. Yeah, Walter, I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm going home. I'm going home and there's no food at my house, at mom's house. And I don't know what I'm going to do. But we'll deal with that when I get home. David, thank you. I might have lit the match, but you guys all built this community. I am going to add the Koreatown video. If you guys didn't see this, it is really, really good. And I got to tell you what it was is hanging out with Derek, because YouTube had me do these VR 180s, which were wonderful in the headset. They look really cool. But I thought if I was going to spend that much money, and YouTube gave us the money, I was grateful, is that I would do it a little differently, which is now what we're doing. And we're looking for stories. Being honest, I think, what's happening with the virus is scary. What's happening with the economic snowball, or I don't even know how to say it. The CDC just recommended no meetings over 50 people for 8 weeks. 8 weeks. Oh my gosh. 8 weeks. From churches to weddings, musicians, restaurants, bars, sex workers. You look at, people that are doing any kind of labor, any kind of labor, even white collar work. I don't know. I don't know who is not going to be touched by the fallout from this. Yes, it's horrible. Right now, we have to be concerned about stopping it, right? Stopping the spread of it. That's the most important, right? But there is going to be some serious, serious fallout. Yeah, Bliss. I thought that was pretty neat. Well, one thing I gotta say, and it's, I don't know how many of you guys are on social media. I know you're here on YouTube. Is I see a lot of people sharing stuff that's just not true, and they share it like, oh, some doctor sent me this, some nurse sent me this, and it's not true. I mean, some of it probably is, but some of it isn't. Go to the CDC. Go to verifiable sources that invisible people got hit hard. This was the year I was going to be able to hire myself. We got hit hard, but I do live at mom's house. I have some bills, but I don't have to pay rent, as long as we don't have to sell the house for her health care. So I'll be okay Invisible people will be okay. It's just this year was the year we were going to like explode. We doubled the money we raised from the year before. This was the year that we were going to do all kinds of great stuff. I mean, we're going to do great stuff anyways. We do great stuff any year, but this was going to be huge and everything. I don't know about the road trip this summer. So when I say all that, my heart breaks for, the people. I have friends that are musicians that are freaking out. I have friends that, I mentioned sex work, and there are people that have disabilities, that have some kind of mental illness, and they can't hold a regular job. So they do sex work. That's done right now. You know what I mean? And they have to pay their rent, and um, from waiters to restaurant managers to, hotel staff, airplane staff. If they're stopping meetings for 8 weeks, nobody's going to be flying. There's going to be so many people losing their jobs from the event industry. I don't know any. I mean, people have been planning their weddings for years, right? People, I mean, it's weddings are a gazillion-dollar industry, right? You have caterers, you have photographers, you have event planners, you have printers, you have and weddings are getting canceled. And these are people, that are obviously in love, and it's got to be shattering for them. Um, I believe we'll come out of it. We always do. But what's going to be the new normal? Are we going to always be social distancing? Are we always going to be 6 foot apart? Um, are we going to go back to hugging people? I'll tell you, this really bothered me. So the point of the last little rant was that I'm more concerned of other people. But the over the last couple days, I had several homeless people when I gave them socks. They reached out to shake my hand. And because the virus, you can't shake hands. And so touch is so important. And, because so many people ignore homeless people, they won't even look at them. So by touching, shaking hands or a hug, you're sending a strong signal that you're a human and I'm a human. I wasn't able to hug people. I wasn't able to touch their hands. And that really bothered me. It really bothered me because I wanted to, send that nonverbal signal that you're a human. Yeah, I went to get water, a couple bottles of water at Walgreens, and shelves were bare here. And there was some stuff, um, but there was even things like, blood pressure supplies and diabetes supplies that were cleaned out from the shelves because people are scared. They need their insulin or they need whatever. And So Jordy, I flew here, and it was interesting that at least the plane from Detroit to here was pretty full. I don't know what it's going to be like tomorrow. The plane from Binghamton to Detroit, uh, when I was checking in, they show you the seats. I thought it was packed, but people just didn't show, I guess. Tammy, I'm a hugger too. Hey, Derek, I'm sorry. I do not know where there's housing. Gene Gleason, the virus is not the flu. That much we know. Um, 400 people just died yesterday in Italy, almost 400 people. It's not the flu. Stop. That is very dangerous. That is very, very, very dangerous. It is not the flu. The flu, we know, uh, starts dissipating in warmer weather. We do not know that about coronavirus. The flu, there's vaccines and treatments for. Right now, there is nothing for coronavirus. The flu doesn't get go to the lungs, where you need respirator and all these intensive care stuff. The flu doesn't do that, right? The, Fox News. Someday I'm going to just do a whole hour rant on Fox News because it's not news; it's propaganda. But it's dangerous saying that it's like this flu because it's not. It is not. It is not. It is not. Yes, there is panic. Is it unwarranted? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, here is the CDC saying stay home. Schools are closing. I'm pretty sure they're going to shut down domestic travel. That's serious stuff. I mean, businesses, restaurants, schools are was the flu, none of that would be happening. So my goodness, my goodness. Yeah, Lynn, that is one of the things I read today where the medical professionals are canceling all, like, unless it's life threatening, so they can just focus on the virus, or and so that people coming in for maybe heart surgery or whatever don't get the virus. Maria A is really concerned. I don't know what's being a realist. The way this is spreading, uh, it's in the homeless community already. Yeah, no baloney. That is crazy. Hey, gay homeless with pink nails. Thank you for the kind words. I love your channel name. David Anthony, the vaccine. Nah, I'm not even going to go there. Anna C, that is exactly right. It attacks the lungs. David, look, there's people like Fox News that feed into this statement. They broke it. There's other things that, yeah, okay, car accidents, heart disease. Yeah, there's things that kill people more, but this pandemic, which it's a pandemic, is now going from person to person. There's people that don't even know they have it that are transmitting it, and they don't know how to cure it. This may be a huge killer. That's what they're trying to stop, because there is no cure for this, and it's getting worse. They just discovered it. It just came about. So saying there's other things that kill worse, you don't know. You don't know. There's absolutely not enough data yet to know. I mean, you guys, take this serious. Wash your hands. Stay 6 foot away from people. Take it serious. Don't panic. Don't go to the store and buy more than you actually need. I mean, buy a couple weeks worth, and if but people are taking too much because they're scared. That is the panic, right? But being sensible, and you guys got to take this serious. It's not the flu. It is not. This is very serious. Alan Bleach and so Alan here says, please educate yourself. A lot of bad information. Bleach and hydrogen peroxide kills it. Wrong. All other cleaners useless. Israel already has a vaccine and will be released soon. They have said that they are, but there's nothing that, the news blasted that, but then there's been nothing since. To your first statement, educate yourself. I mean, go to the CDC. The CDC is probably the most reliable. And as far as a news source, NPR. I mean, CNN they spin a lot. Fox is not even news. Fox is just propaganda. Modi 604, there was a photo today of a marijuana dispensary with lines around the block. So you're not the only one that's stocking up. Subdue light. I was talking to somebody in the UK and earlier today, and they haven't quite yet gotten it like the rest of Europe. Well, folks, you know what? I'm going to call this one. We're in a funky time. We are in a funky time, and we're getting to where there's a lot of conspiracy theories and rumors being spread in the chat, and I don't have the energy to argue with people. So here is the K-Town. You guys need to go watch that. It is really, really good. Let me know what you think. And then next week, we have Rita Dunn, who will be joining us if all goes well. And that is hers. Do me a favor, even if you're one of the conspiracy people, CDC is the government and they're against us or whatever, play pretend. What do you have to lose, right? If this coronavirus is all a big hoax, right? Then in a couple of weeks, people will go, well, I guess the people are saying it's a hoax is right. But if it's not, in a couple of weeks, you could have friends and relatives and maybe even yourself in serious health trouble. So play pretend. For right now, play pretend. I mean, it is really, really serious. It is, and again, don't panic. Don't go buying 6 years worth of stuff. Leave some food for other people. And don't, I was at a homeless camp today. I was there yesterday and people were very calm. Then today the rumors started going around and people were panicked. Don't let the rumors, like somebody just wrote, it was all planned. No, it wasn't. This is not stop the conspiracy theory stuff, right? This is not the government out to get us. This is not Russia out to get us. This is something that's very serious, and we need to follow the recommendations that are coming down from the officials, because there is no cure it right now, and we have to do what we can to, slow the spread of this thing, because it's very dangerous. Anyways, everybody, stay safe. I will see you next week.